They had my car towed at 6:00 a.m. on a Tuesday. Didn't even bother asking what was under the cover, just hauled it off like they were cleaning up some crime scene. You ever walk up your driveway and see a tow truck rolling off with something you love while your HOA president stands there, arms folded, looking so damn satisfied you want to hand her an Oscar? That was my morning. Neighbors glued to their windows, popcorn out, watching like it was the neighborhood Super Bowl. And there I am, just breathing in the mix of diesel fumes and that special brand of smugness you only get from folks who never get told no. They thought they knew what they were doing. They thought they knew me. Oh man, they had no clue. Not about the car, not about me, an asterisk, definitely asterisk, not about who actually owns this neighborhood. But let me back up a second, because the real story, it starts long before that tow truck ever showed up. Name's Marcus. I'm 48. 6 months ago, I was dragging myself through a divorce that felt like a slow-motion car crash. 20 years of marriage vaporized. My ex got the McMansion, half my savings, and our 2 kids who now treat me like background noise. So what does a guy do? You downsize, start over, try to make something that feels like home out of the mess you're left with. That's how I landed in Willowbrook Estates. Sounds fancy, right? 847 houses, each one looking like it was airdropped from a catalog. Lawns so green you'd swear they were AstroTurf. German cars lined up like it's a dealership. The smell of fresh mulch hits you before you even get through the gates. But I'll tell you what sold me, it was the garage. 3 bays just waiting for me to bring something special home. That something special was a gift from my late Uncle Raymond. The man was a legend in our family, eccentric, sharp as a tack, always 3 steps ahead of everyone. He left me his 1967 Ferrari 275 GTB. Yeah, that's right, an old Ferrari. It looked rough. Faded, paint-worn seats, the kind of car you'd think was a project some guy gave up on. But under that gray tarp was a museum-grade classic. Real value hides in plain sight, Uncle Raymond always said. Most folks see what they expect, not what's actually there. First week in the new place, I'm out front with the car covered, just trying to keep the dust off it until I figure out where to send it for restoration. That's when I meet Diane Blackwell. If you've ever dealt with an HOA president, you already know the type. She's in a BMW yoga pants she's never sweat in, and that smile sharp enough to slice bread. She comes up with her welcome to the neighborhood routine, except it's more like an interrogation. She wants to know about the vehicle situation in my driveway. I tell her classic car, just covered for a bit. Her smile tightens, and suddenly I'm holding a violation notice printed on the kind of paper you buy in bulk at Office Depot. No law broken, just a warning, but that's how it starts. That night I read the HOA covenants, cover to cover. Here's the secret nobody tells you. The bullies in these places don't count on you actually knowing your rights. No ban on covered vehicles for less than 30 days. I was within my rights. But Diane, she doesn't quit. By the next day, I'm getting cold shoulders at the mailbox neighbors who won't meet my eye. Whispers that cut off when I walk by. The sound of 100 conversations dying that became my new background noise. But here's where it gets good. What I didn't know, Uncle Raymond left me more than just a Ferrari. There's a whole other story waiting, but first, Diane's about to crank the drama to 11. 2 weeks after moving in, I get a certified letter emergency HOA meeting at Diane's house. Let me tell you, her house smells like vanilla candles and old secrets. 4 board members lined up behind the kitchen island, 1 chair for me and Diane, sliding a manila folder across the counter like she's the DA. We've received complaints about your situation. She's got photos, emails, property value graphs. She probably copied off Google. She claims my car is tanking property values and making children ask questions. You gotta laugh. I pull out my own folder. Every page of the HOA rules highlighted, annotated, cross-referenced. Show me the violation, Diane. You could hear a pin drop. I read aloud, covered vehicles are allowed for 30 days, written notice required before any action. Janet, one of the board members, coughs and suggests tabling the issue. Diane turns red, but it isn't over. Next morning, there's dog poop on my lawn, an anonymous note, trashy car for trashy people. Petty right. But that's how these folks operate. A few days later, I catch Diane showing a house, telling potential buyers there's an unfortunate new addition on the street, meaning me. That's when it hits me. This isn't about rules, it's about business. Diane's little power trip is tied to her commissions as a real estate agent. I'm a threat to her bottom line. So I start documenting. Cameras up, cloud, backups, the works. And while I'm at it, I dig through Uncle Raymond's files. Turns out the man owned more than a Ferrari. He owned land, a lot of it, and not just anywhere. Willowbrook Estates. He helped Asterisk develop Asterisk it. And the paperwork buried deep shows that every house here sits on a ground lease held by a company he controlled. You following every homeowner, including Diane, is technically my tenant. Every HOA payment includes a ground lease that goes straight to Uncle Raymond's company, which as of his passing means me. I confirm it all with the estate lawyer. I've been getting automatic deposits for 18 months and never even checked the account. Suddenly I realize I own more of Willowbrook than anyone, including Diane. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Diane's next move. She tries to flex legal muscle, bringing her brother-in-law, a fake attorney, to threaten me with insurance claims and community safety violations. The guy's a joke. I check him out, and he's got 2.5 stars online, mostly for missed court dates. I call their bluff and bring in the real HOA lawyer who sets Diane straight in front of her whole kangaroo court. That's when Diane really panics. Emergency board meeting, 24 hours notice against the bylaws to change the rules retroactively and kick me out. She packs the room with friends and proxy votes, half of whom don't even live here. She pushes through a vote daily plus $50 fines and the towing authorization that started this whole circus. What she didn't count on, I cross-check every vote against county records. 11 people aren't residents, 3 are relatives. It's straight-up fraud. I pull together all the evidence, voting irregularities, harassment, financial shenanigans, and tip off Channel 7's investigative reporter. But before I drop the hammer, I remember what Uncle Raymond always said, use power wisely. Some folks learn from punishment, others from justice. So I assemble my team. The estate lawyer, a retired cop, neighbor, a forensic accountant friend, even the classic car appraiser who authenticates the Ferrari at $2.1 million. We document everything, embezzlement, intimidation, the whole 9 yards. Diane, though, she can't help herself. Tuesday at dawn, she's out there directing the tow truck, Craig filming on his phone like he's about to go viral. The whole neighborhood gathers as I stroll out, coffee in hand, and peel the tarp off the Ferrari. Sunlight hits that candy red paint and chrome, and you could hear a pin drop. You're towing a plus $2 million car, Diane. The tow guy backs off real quick. Then I drop the real bomb. You've been harassing your landlord, Diane. I own the ground your house sits on. All those fines, all your threats, legally meaningless. You could see her world collapse in slow motion. Neighbors start Googling. Diane's face goes white. Craig looks like he wants to disappear. That evening, Diane tries one last play emergency meeting to accuse me of fraud and get me kicked out. She spins wild stories. But when I pull out the evidence, ground leases, bank records, proof of embezzlement, the whole room turns on her. Board votes her out. Channel 7 catches it all on camera. Justice finally with a standing ovation. 3 weeks later, Willowbrook's a different place. The new board is transparent, the community's pitching in for real improvements. And I set up a scholarship fund with the ground lease money Uncle Raymond left behind. The Ferrari's now the local celebrity raising money for good causes instead of drama. Kids line up to see it, neighbors actually talk to each other, and folks share stories of their own HOA run-ins. Even Diane's gone North Carolina, last I heard. You want a moral, here's mine when you buy into a community. Learn who actually owns what. Don't assume the loudest person has the most power. And document everything because sometimes the only thing between you and a tyrant is what you can prove. So tell me what's your HOA nightmare. Drop a comment below, share your story, and if you made it this far, hit that subscribe. There's always another battle on the block, and you never know who really holds the keys until the dust settles.